Hello and welcome to another episode of Odyssey Strength Podcast, joined by yours truly, Giannis Xopoulos, and
Jackson Mansudi.
we want to thank you for joining in for another episode. Hopefully we can give you some takeaway tips that can help improve your health and fitness journey, make the whole process a lot easier and more sustainable. If you're interested in coaching, you can reach out to either of us on our Instagrams. I'm Coach Xopoulos _OS.
Coach Jackson Mansudi _OS.
Or you can DM the Instagram page, Odyssey Strength, or find us on the website, odysseystrength.com.au. Let's get into the episode.
We're too good.
How good? All right, welcome back. What's happening, man?
You know, I've said it about 3 times before we got on here. You know, it's just how it has to happen.
Yeah.
It's got a,
Hey, bro, this coffee is one of the best coffees I've had in Sydney.
This is the best one that they've made for sure.
I would put this like I'm gonna make a broad call here.
That's the best. It's
I reckon it's the closest thing you get to a Melbourne coffee.
yeah. Look, I think I didn't experience the true, Melbourne culture because I wasn't actually a big coffee fan.
No.
Oh, look, I was a social coffee fan. I was a bit of a right, I have one with you, but it wasn't like I could not honestly sit there and say I feel like a coffee. It wouldn't do it for me.
See, I
Love the smell.
Oh,
Love
the smell. If I could get a perfume, I'm pretty sure they have some perfumes.
100%.
Bro, and just put coffee on me, I would be such a happy man.
Yeah. Smell, unreal. When my parents would crank an espresso at like 10 p.m. at night, I'd be like, bro, I'll have one of those.
Bro, Wog parents are fucked. I can't believe my parents will be like 7 p.m. and they're like, you want a coffee? And I'm like, bro, it's 7 o'clock at night.
I'll do you one better. Yesterday, trained with Dad, right? We both had pre-workout at 4:30, which is questionable.
Oh, bro, he'd be charging.
Bro, didn't fucking affect him one bit. We got home. I was like, all right, I'm going to shower. I'm going to go to dinner. What's the guy? The guy's in the kitchen. I said, is that a coffee? He goes, yeah. I was like, what? No food? He's like, no, I feel like a coffee. I was like, this guy honestly can't be stopped.
You know how they say in bodybuilding, the bodybuilders are the guinea pigs and the science comes later?
Right.
Wog parents are the guinea pigs and the science is going to come later. They're ahead of the curve, but no one knows it.
Yeah, but when I got home,
yeah, that's what I'm
on the
saying.
couch, bro, out.
Bro, it's peak performance.
It's like nothing happened. You didn't even have it. But yeah, I don't think I was truly able to experience the coffee culture as the Melburnians,
yeah.
Melburnians have about them. I didn't get to experience that.
I think
I'm falling into it.
My coffee culture came when I became addicted when I first started becoming a PT. Because in my first year of PT, I pumped coffees.
Yeah. I didn't go through that phase.
Yeah, because you didn't work at 5:30.
Yeah, no. It was like a 6 onwards, 6:30 onwards.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. When I started first doing my first 5:30 a.m.ers, and I was like, it got to 10 o'clock and I'd had 3 coffees, and I was like,
that's wild.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, bro, with prep, like, by 10 o'clock, I've definitely had at least 2 coffees.
Do you think, though, like, when I have a coffee, I can go to sleep. Like, I don't feel the effect of the caffeine per se, but I'm actually not convinced that there's I do feel maybe a bit more alert, but I don't get like that spike and crash like people say.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, maybe
you build a tolerance, so it's like it doesn't matter. Plus at the moment, bro, like I'm tired all the time.
Yeah, like what's healthy?
It doesn't matter.
What's healthy now?
Yeah, it was funny. I was having a conversation with a friend, and we were like, bodybuilding is an eating disorder, and I was like, yeah, I agree, but like
necessary.
I don't care.
Well, bro, we've said it. I know that we've spoken about this before on one of the episodes. It's like, you speak to Michael Phelps, right, who is arguably the greatest swimmer ever.
Yeah.
I think he was consuming like 10,000 calories a day at one stage, and like having whole boxes of cereals and his diet was so processed because that was what had to be done. If he didn't eat that food, he cannot train and he cannot become the best swimmer in the world. Yeah. Like there's a reason why things have to happen, and this is just one of those things. Like you can't go and go, oh well, I want to do this, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think if I was to take a quick deep dive into the psychology of being amazing at anything, I think you're going to be pressing the borders of your overall health to risk it for whatever it is the goal is. And I think that's okay. I don't see a problem with it. Like, I actually don't. If it's, and I'll tell you why.
If you want to be amazing or not.
Yeah, well, like, if it serves you in a way in your life, then, you know, do it.
Or in this case, you want to be the best athlete in the world.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, Michael Jordan had no mates. Like, you know what I mean? Like, his friends were people on the basketball court.
Kobe Bryant was the same. He would train before training and train after training.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to be better than you.
Yeah, but it's like, we still look up to him. We still buy his shoes and we still...
I think it's because it's so, you know, I think for those kind of athletes, it's so far out of reach for the general public.
Yeah.
In terms of what's, like, you tend to know with sports if you're there or not. Like, you tend to know by...
Whether you've got it, yeah.
A teenager at very earliest or latest, whether or not you've got it or not.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, those guys were 18 probably already playing the NBA. You know that you're there, right? Whereas I think the reason why people...
Bro, Seabum is 27 and has 5 Olympias.
There you go.
Like, he's literally, like, 3 years older than me.
Yeah, there you go.
No, 2.
2.
Yeah. Fuck.
Fuck.
At my age, he already had 2.
Got some catching up to do.
How fucked is that?
That's pretty fucked. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Wild. How's your training?
That's good. Hang on. But I think because you compare it to bodybuilding, right? Let's use bodybuilding. It's close enough for most people because they can do the things that they don't want to do and get the result.
The barrier to entry is lower.
It's way lower. But because it's lower, they go, oh, nah, I can't do that. That's disordered eating, whatever. But it's like,
I think
if you care about it more, if you knew that how easy it was, in a sense of the low barrier to entry, you would do it. But because you don't want the responsibility of doing it, that's why it's like, oh, it's a disordered eating thing. And
I agree with you on the barrier to entry because people will look at bodybuilding and be like, I can do that. I just restrict my food and do my output and step on stage with a pair of tan and posing trunks on and we're good. But I think there's more to it than that people need to consider, which is like, you should live that lifestyle before you even think about trying to do it like competitively. Like, be a bodybuilder before you try and compete in bodybuilding.
Even recreationally, like, if you don't live the lifestyle, well, you're not going to have a good time, and then you're going to hate it.
Well, I say this to all my clients, I was like, we're not bodybuilders, but we train like them. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, if you're pursuing some sort of physique goal, like...
You build the body.
You are bodybuilding. Like, it's literally what they do. Like, they're just doing it on such a larger scale that we look at it and be like, oh, we would never do that. But it's like, you're literally trying to build muscle and you're trying to reduce body fat. That's bodybuilding.
And I was reading the other day, like, it extends your longevity of life, like, tenfold.
Richard, physique coach,
yeah,
he said, and I really enjoyed what he said, bodybuilding at the core is actually very healthy.
Yeah.
In terms of eat more protein, get more fruit and vegetables in, train 3 to 4 times a week, walk more, do an aspect of cardio. Like, all those things are great for you. And you should do those practices all the time.
So, steroid abuse aside, 70s bodybuilding, man.
Yeah.
Train in the sun, eat mostly whole foods, right? Obviously, steroid abuse aside. But, you know, that you'd see them riding bikes, you'd see them hanging out, they swim, they do some cardio, like, they were pretty healthy. Apart from that,
but bro, you look at any sport, and it's only because performance enhancers are involved. It's the same thing. Like, at the core, I'm sure soccer is great, but when you do it 6 times a week, your knees get fucked, your ankles hurt, your feet hurt. Like,
you gotta,
there's wear and tear on the body.
Yeah, like, you got a lifespan of, let's say, like, maybe 40. I want to say 40 because there's some really good players that have retired at 40, but the majority of them retire in their 30s.
I mean, look at one of the biggest sports at the moment in the world, MMA. It's like, bro, and boxing. It's like, sure, maybe there is performance enhancers in that. It's like, at the core, the sports are very healthy. You learn to defend yourself. You get a good cardiovascular output from it. You learn coordination, all these things, but you get punched in the face, bro.
Yeah, kicked, elbowed, strangled.
And I think it's just funny because something like bodybuilding gets put on a pedestal as such an unhealthy thing, but it's like, it's all around us, and we support it, we glorify it. Because
that's why I think people put it on that pedestal, because it's so close to being achievable, but people don't want to do it. Whereas you could look at a UFC fighter and go, I could never do that, because you'd probably have to sacrifice so much more than bodybuilding.
I'm sure there's people out there that think they can.
Probably.
I mean, bro, I did it, and I pull my hand up saying I know I can't. It's fucking hard. Getting punched in the face and being okay with it is something you really have to be okay with. It's not like putting up with a diet. That's the easy shit. Not eating, that's fine. Bro, being okay with getting kicked, elbowed, or kneed in the face is something you genuinely have to sit with for a while and be like, am I okay with that?
Yeah, do I want this?
And like,
my career.
Yeah, not only that, like the long-term effects of that, as we know with CTE and brain trauma now, it's like, sure, if I do steroids, like I might lose a year or 5 off my life because of what I do to my organs, but you might live a longer life doing MMA, but will literally fall into Alzheimer's, depression.
Yeah, some of those fighters are cool.
Bro, like look at, who was it?
The American fighter. Fuck, what's his name?
But even Muhammad Ali, bro, like, look at him. Like, you can't tell me that's not brain trauma or, you know. Anyway, we'll get into it. So today we're going to run through, obviously on the topic of training, because that's what we do.
That's what we're about.
We're going to talk a little bit about, like, who we train, the type of methods that we use to get the results that we do with the type of person, predominantly, like, in our business and online and stuff. So we're going to get into a little bit of our method and some of the problems our clients face and stuff like that. So I wanted to kick it off and basically just talk about, like, you know, if you are listening to this, are you this person? And it's usually some sort of young male or female who want to, you know, put on muscle mass and look better either with less clothing on the beach, you know, feel confident in some sort of swimmers, and honestly just like be a tank in the gym. Like they want to.
Yeah, performance is the main driver, you know.
Yeah, and if you're someone who like is pretty unsure to where to go with their training right now, you're just like walking around the gym. You're like, you know what you're doing, but you just can't. You're not enjoying it. You're not getting that feeling that you want from it. Whether it's the pumps, whether it's the results, or whatever it is, and you look in the mirror and you're like, you've made good progress, but you really want to fucking take it to that next level and be that strong with the head-turning physique and just really fucking own it.
Yeah, you know, you want to be that person that people go, if you're a dude and you take that pump cover off, you got the singlet on, people go, oh, he trains.
Honestly, the way I look at it is just like me 5 years ago. Yeah. Like if you're me 5 years ago, wanted to get fucking jacked, wanted to, you know, be the biggest guy in the gym or be the biggest chick in the gym with like fucking legs that will blow a guy away, or you want to be the girl that gets on the leg press after the guy and leg presses more than
leave
him.
The weights on.
Yeah, exactly. Like then this is fucking for you. Like you should listen up. You know, I think the way that we always approach it is we always look at your training first.
That's the easiest one.
Lowest barrier to entry. And our method, we've actually named it the Tren E method that we use. So we follow this, and it's a bit of a joke, but it actually works quite well. So we assess multiple things, and we can go into it in depth. Exercise selection, how you approach your warm-ups. We give you a bit of an understanding of the intensity we want, and then the way that you approach the technique with your lifts. Do you want to break it down?
What was the first one?
Exercise selection.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be the difference now. So you can do anything in the gym within the first couple of years, and if you apply a decent amount of intensity, you could do anything, and you're going to get pretty good results. And as long as your nutrition is somewhat in, you know, 70 to 80% okay, you're going to get decent results for where you've started, right? But then once, what we're talking about obviously is taking it to the next step. You know, you want to be able to have a head-turning physique. You want to be able to maintain those results for a long term and understand what it is that you're doing.
Next level results.
The next level results is obviously what people want now. Everyone knows how to go to the gym, how to train, but that's not what we're about. We're trying to get you to bridge the gap between that and arguably where we are, where, you know, people go, oh wow, they train. Yeah. They know what they're doing. So exercise selection falls into probably one of the most important categories of training, because it does make a difference. It didn't before, in my opinion. You could do anything in the beginning, but now it definitely makes a difference. We need to make sure we're choosing the right exercises for the goal. So let's use a guy, for example. You know, for me, for the longest time, it was I wanted a bigger upper body. I was really skinny, skinny kid and a skinny teen, so I was always one of those times where I felt small without a shirt on and with a shirt on. I was just thin all the time. So, I do bench press, I do this, and I do flies, and I do all these things thrown together in the same session, but they weren't getting the results that I wanted. So once I peeled the layers back, obviously I got a coach, and I understood, okay, we need to choose the right exercises for the goal.
Tools for the job.
Yeah, you're not gonna pick the wrong things, right? So if we use the example, we might grow our chest. That's the main thing for most people, right? I don't think I've done a barbell bench press in a very long time.
Yeah.
Right? Not to say it's a bad thing.
Not at all. I've done a lot of barbell bench
tools
press.
for the goals. Like for you, if we were to take ourselves, for example, I'm just long. My arms are long, right? I'm not strong. So choosing a barbell bench for me probably isn't the best thing because I'm not going to enjoy it. And I'm not going to get much satisfaction out of it. I'm not going to want to do it. So for me, that's not a good option. I move to something like chest flies on the pec deck, right? Good exercise selection, shorten position for the chest, get a good pump. I know now what I'm training when I'm in that session. Then I might move on to a flat dumbbell press. Feels fantastic.
Yeah.
2 exercises in, maybe a total of 7 to 8 sets or 6 to 8 sets.
And you've gone from now doing 5 to 6 chest exercises to 2, but very effectively because you've chosen the right tools for the job.
Yeah. And you can walk away being like, I know what that feels like. It's repeatable and I really enjoy it.
And to actually put that all together, so one of the things we do is we assess your physique and we assess how you're built because your mechanics plays a massive role in exercise selection. Giannis has longer arms, therefore there's going to be a few things that are going to be a little bit more taxing on him. So a barbell bench press might be a little bit more torque on the joints, might be a little bit more niggly for him. So it's fucking something I see a lot with current clients, especially the young boys who are taller.
Yeah.
They get a lot of elbow pain, shoulder pain because they're not choosing the right tools for the job. Now, you'll notice something Giannis said as well is he's doing a pec fly first. That's actually a warm-up for Giannis. So that's actually the warm-up exercise. It's the first exercise. He's still training it with the right intensity, probably leaving a few reps in the tank because he wants to get blood in that muscle before he goes and hits that flat dumbbell press. And then from there, it's like you've done 3 of the things we've already sort of mentioned, which is exercise selection, right tool for the job. You've done a warm-up, which is your first exercise, which is very much acceptable when you're choosing the right tools.
And caveat to that, you're warming up for that warm-up.
100%, yeah. You're not just going in and just pumping it out.
That's definitely something I think. We'll finish this and jump back to that. It's like people waste their time doing these warm-ups, right?
Yeah, 100%. And then, you're sort of hitting the right intensity on that first exercise to allow you to train harder for that second exercise. You feel the chest more than you have before because you got that little bit of pump and blood in the muscle. You can take it to a proximity to failure that is comfortable for you, and you're getting way more effective volume and reps into that session. Yeah. And the same could be said with glutes. If you're a chick who wants to build your glutes, do a hip thrust, then go into a reverse lunge, or vice versa.
Yeah, I don't want to toot my own horn. I got good glutes, right? Arguably, probably from a long running career. A lot of field activities, just sports, right? But I can every time.
Bit of earthquake.
Sorry. Every time I do a hip thrust, I feel it. I can do a glute bridge and I feel it, right? Now, whether you want to call that mind-muscle connection or whatever it is, I've just done that movement so many times effectively that now every time I do it, I don't have to muck around with warming up and all this kind of stuff. But if that's not you, then you need to spend an allocated time making sure that becomes you.
Yeah.
Choose the right exercise. If you're a girl and you go, glutes is one of those things just will not grow. Are you spending time warming up? Do you get on the bike or the Stairmaster for 5 minutes? Are you warm? Are you ready? Are you present? No? Well, then there's no surprise why it's not happening for you.
100%. I think one of the other things as well, just to add to that, is obviously the technique breakdown. And I think it's the easiest, lowest barrier to entry thing that we work on with our clients. It's like with that first week, I want to see a lot of your training. I want to see a lot of your lifts, mainly the first 2 of most days, to really just assess and make sure that things are moving the way they should.
I signed up Hassan, who's a PT himself. I said to him for the first week, I want to see 1 set of every single exercise in your program. That's over 40 videos. to me, once I've seen it and I know it's good, it goes.
Yeah,
That's one of those things. You go from I want to see everything. If you're an online client, I want to see a video of everything in the first week. Okay, you don't have to show me biceps, triceps, blah 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 blah. Show me squat patterns, press patterns, overhead patterns, pulling patterns. That's it. And things that you think need some work.
100%.
And then once we're confident, we say, okay, unless this breaks down now and you can analyze that it's breaking down, or you feel like it's really, really hard and it shouldn't be that hard.
Oh, there's pain.
Something that presents itself, we communicate.
100%.
Otherwise, once you're sweet, you move on.
Yeah. The other one that we then look at is once training's covered, is we look at your recovery. And the reason I think recovery, and I'm going to say recovery with a grain of salt, is because it's not about, the ice baths or the saunas or anything like that. It's most people that I come across are actually doing too much, and that's the reason they're not growing or they're not making progress in the gym. They're doing multiple sets on multiple exercises for no reason, because of the first thing that we spoke about around training.
Yeah.
And then they're training like 7 days a week. And they're like, oh, bro, I'm not growing, or, I can't see progress in my glutes, or my chest won't grow. It's like, of course, man. Like, yes, we want to spend as much time as we can in the gym in order to grow, but most of the growing happens outside of the gym.
Well, it's like you need to think, right? There was a time where I think I did push 3 times a week. Right. So what does that come with? The territory that comes with is more shoulder pain. You don't actually get a chance to recover from the last session, so your performance drops. And then you get frustrated because you think doing more is the secret, when in reality it's not.
Not to mention your fatigue overall is going to be so much higher, and then you're wondering why you can't press past the 30s or the 40s, or you can't hip thrust more than 100 kilos. Like, obviously not.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's only so much food you can eat. There's only so much sleep you can get. Like, you probably, if you're listening to this, you probably have a full-time job, right? You don't get paid to train. You don't get paid to sleep and perform. So we have to take into account that you do have a life. You do have a normal life, right? So if we're a little bit smarter with how we, approach things, generally we go, okay, how many days a week do you want to train? Oh, 6. Let's start with 5. If you can nail 5, and I, as your coach, am satisfied that you're taking everything to where it needs to be, you don't need to train more than 5 days.
No, definitely not. 5 is the max. 4 is good as well. I've done 4. I like 4, but 5 for me is the sweet spot. But yeah, like anything less than 4, I'm kind of like, you can make a pretty good results. But I think if you're later on in that training life, probably need to be around that 5 mark. 4 mark.
Even if you're new to training, I would say like you need to do the 5. You need to be in the gym learning as much as possible.
It's just think about it like playing the guitar. The more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it. It's that simple. So anything more than that though, you're doing too much. You're burning the candle on both ends, and you're not gonna get anywhere. And then also just like stress management and sleep. Like as you said, you probably got a full-time job, so you're probably already worried about other things. So putting more stress on the body unnecessarily to quote unquote make more gains that isn't going to happen is really not worth it.
It doesn't work that way. Just because you pour more water into the jug doesn't mean that it's going to keep filling up. It's going to spill over.
It's going to spill over, and that's literally what it's funny. I've literally reduced days, reduced volume, and seen progress go up. Whether it's building glutes, whether it's overall like muscular strength or whatever it is, it's actually a phenomenal what can happen with a little bit of more recovery and effective training.
Yeah, and especially for females, like you have to take into account that there's a week out of every month. That's rough.
100%.
So taking that into account when your menstrual cycle comes around, if you're training 7 days a week, when do you get to rest? We have to be a little bit smarter with our approach. Guys have got it easy. I'll say it every day of the week, right? For us, it's plug and play.
Right? We definitely have that aspect of things taken care of a bit more.
Just plug and play. Just here we go, right?
Yeah.
Females, there's a lot more things to think about, right? You're not always going to want to train, so okay. Can we do 5 days on the weeks that we're feeling good? Yes, sure. Can we do 4 days? Sure. Can we do 3 on our shark week, or when your period comes? If you can do 3 and you do them really well, stick with it. Like, there's got to be some times where we just say, okay, maybe we take a back seat a little bit.
Or just show up the 5 and pull back.
Yeah. If that were you, like, you need to decide what's going to work for you, but you need to stick with it.
100%. I know some girls that perform really, really well.
Yeah. I got clients that, what's period week?
Yeah.
I got no idea. It's just like,
especially like when you throw in things like the pill and other things that can come into play. But anyway, next bit. So a big thing I find that's really interesting is people don't. I mean, it's not interesting. It's pretty common. They don't give enough time to the thing that they're trying to do. Whether you're a guy who's trying to build muscle, they're like, yeah, bro, I did a bulk for 6 weeks. Or if you're a girl who's like, yeah, I dieted for 4 and now I'm bulking, but I'm still eating my diet calories. It's like, bro, it doesn't work like that. I think you need to have some good expectation management. That's where the E of the trend comes in. Understanding that what you're going to do is going to require a level of effort and a time frame that you need to commit to. I wrote it in my email today for tomorrow saying, you guys are only seeing the last 24 weeks or the last 16 weeks of this diet, but I've been preparing for it for the past 52. And that's something that most people don't understand and they need to get through their head. Realistic time frame for however long it's going to take you to diet, however long it's going to take you to build muscle, and then how to actually nail that. I don't really think I can add more to that. But to give context, so when we set up, or Giannis and I set up, whether it's a gain phase or a diet phase, we'll just do diet because it's pretty simple. It's like, cool, how much weight do you want to lose? Let's say you're a 90 kilo male and you want to get down to 80 and get peeled. Cool, 10 kilos to lose. When do you want to do it? We're currently in July. Let's say you want to get shredded by summer. So you probably want to be ready by November.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, and myself included, before I had done my first ever diet, which was last year. I know that's hard to believe, but it was just one of those
different
things.
Goals.
It's just different bodies, right? But me aside, you always need to do more than what you think. If you think you need to lose 5 kilos to get shredded, you probably need to lose 10.
So I'm actually looking at this right now. So let's say you want to get ready by November, let's say 11th. Currently 1st of July. So we got where is it here? November 11th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We've got around 18 weeks, which sounds like a fucking long time, right? But let's say it's a 12-week diet and we throw in 3 or 4 diet breaks there. You got 18 weeks.
Yeah, so if we go, literally, let's use 16 weeks as the benchmark. That's 4 months. So we've got 12 weeks of an actual deficit with 4 weeks of a planned maintenance or refeeds or whatever you want to call it, and 2 banked weeks for when you fuck up.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
you're going to fuck up. You're going to fuck up.
It's how it works. I fucked up the first 2 weeks of my diet and I only had 7 weeks.
So how many weeks of actual dieting was it?
Mine?
No, just we hypothetically 12 weeks.
12 weeks of deficit calories, and that's when you stick to it.
Keep in mind, so we're obviously adding this room for error and planned breaks. Yeah. That's still 830 grams lost per week.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot, So when you, and this is something we do with our clients, and this is why expectation management is so important, because we let you know about this. Be like, cool, you want to lose this much.
That's fat loss, eh?
That's fat loss. You want to do muscle gain, times it by 2. You're not putting on 800 grams of body weight per week.
You can do it, but it's not muscle.
No, it's not muscle. What would you say a good rate of gain would be?
250 grams to half a kilo a week.
Like that's it.
And that's going to be something, the effort you're going to have to put in to get that gain is 10-fold the amount you're going to have to do diet.
And to add to that, you're not going to see the results of that until you decide to diet.
Right. You're going to think, what a waste of time.
Yeah.
What a waste.
And these are important conversations to have, because I'm a big believer that PTs and online coaches all sell the same fucking shit. We all sell the same shit. But we're telling you this now so that when we get to that point, it's like, hey, bro, we know what we're in for.
Yeah, I already told you this.
You're going to hurt when you're dieting. It's going to be hard when you're putting the food down. And you're going to feel fluffy as a female when you're trying to put on half a kilo a week of muscle and you're seeing the tights are a bit tighter and the jeans are a bit squishier. But mate, that's fucking part of it. You got to be okay with that. And the same with the guy. It's like, I used to have abs every day and now I don't, especially for the skinnier guy. It's like, well, these are things that you have to understand that are going to happen. You know, I didn't love the way I looked when I was 92 kilos, but it's because of that now my chest is fuller, my shoulders are bigger, my arms are bigger, my quads look great, leaner. Like, it's delayed gratification, and you have to understand that as part of the expectation management when it comes to training for a long period of time. We're in this for the long run. We're not here to get fucking shit results quickly and then lose it.
Yeah, I mean, you said it just then. It's like all these things that we're talking about. So whether you want to diet quickly or you want to put on muscle quickly, although it doesn't exist, you can do it quickly, but you'll lose it even quicker.
100%.
It will disappear before you can even think about maintaining the result.
Yeah.
Whereas if you commit to, you don't have to become a bodybuilder. It's not what we're asking you to do.
But if you want to.
If you want to, then it's a different story. But we're asking you to adopt a lifestyle that resembles that of someone who wants to build a body, right? See, the comparison here is like, you have to do the things that support that goal, or the goal will not come.
You're most likely already committed enough that when you hear this, you're like, this just makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Because no one's probably told you it the way we're telling it right now. No one's just giving you this sort of roadmap to be like, oh, okay, so if I just follow these things, then those results will come. The next part that we move on to, which is a great segue, is the nutrition part, which is the end of the trend. And this is one of our favorites because, like, most of the time it's that you kind of eat the way that you need to for your goals, but you just have poor, like, sort of nutritional guidance and literacy. You know, probably lacking some high quality foods, probably could work on some nutrient timing around training, and you could probably work on eating more for your performance, which is going to reflect your physique. So one of the things we do is, like, obviously depending on the goal, whether you're trying to gain or you're trying to lose, it's like, cool, show us what your fucking plate looks like. Show us what your meal before you train looks like. How much protein are you getting in per day? You know, are you getting enough vegetables in? You know?
How much time you got, you know? Like,
yeah, I know.
Nutrition is one of those things that when it comes to building a physique, we've both done it. We've both been there where it was, I will just eat my macros and that's it. And I'll speak for both of us. But our physiques then compared to now are 10 times different.
Oh man, I can attest to that 100%.
I feel way different, you know? Yeah, sure. Some of the things, like when you're 92 kilos, you're eating a little bit questionable.
Yeah, you're bloated, whatever. But, you know, I say when you're gaining, and I say this a lot, I say about 85% high quality foods, and the rest is like, if you're ticking the boxes, like you're getting enough protein in, you're getting your fruit and veggies in, like after that, you kind of got a little bit of playing room because that's what's necessary for the goal.
You can eat like a child.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah. Like I would hit my 4 or 5 meals that were like set, and after that, it's like, brother, where's the cereal? You know, give me a chocolate bar. Yeah. Like, because you need the calories, man. As long as you're not getting 120 grams of fat per day, like you're pretty good.
Yeah, but nutrition will definitely, it reflects the way you look, the way you move, the way you feel, the way you act as well. Like, if you've ever had 3 days of eating out, like at restaurants, or you've had just shit food, you actually feel like a piece of shit. Oh, and you act like a piece of shit too.
I literally put it on my story today. If you're dieting and you're eating out multiple times a week, brother, you're not dieting. You're just guessing and hoping for the best.
Yeah, and you know that the food comes with it. So like obviously it changes the way that you feel, and then because you feel like a piece of shit, you're probably acting like a piece of shit too.
Yeah.
You're probably moody, like you can't sleep well, and everything just compounds. So like all in all, those are pretty good reasons to go and eat. You know, I don't even like using the 85-15 for most people because they don't even know what 95 and 5 looks like. I said this the other day. I feel like before you do 85 and 15, you need to do 95 and 5.
Yeah, 100%.
You need to understand what it's like to eat like this. It's like a driver's test. It's like you need to do your L's to get your fulls.
Yeah,
because
100%.
You can't just go in and get in the car and just start driving.
It's funny, I've been watching, I watched a talk from Paos, who's got a PhD in nutrition, literally doctorate.
Man.
And a lot of the research suggests that if you eat more shit, essentially, just going to dumb it down and paraphrase, you're going to crave more shit.
Processed foods?
Yeah. So not even processed foods, because like we do, like oats is fucking processed, you know what I mean? But like more palatable foods, you know what I mean?
Out of a packet.
Out of a packet, yeah. If you're eating more stuff let's put it in the simplest paraphrasing terms.
Junk food.
If you eat out more and you buy stuff that you don't cook yourself, you're going to crave more of that stuff. You know, so my suggestion, especially to a lot of my newer clients that comes on, is just cook your fucking food.
Yeah.
Make your own food.
We've said it countless times.
And again, for multiple reasons, because we don't have all the time in the world today, but you know, you're going to think less about what you need to eat when it's already fucking there for you. After a week, you're probably going to just be okay with the food that you're eating because you don't emotionally obsess over food. Like, as a society, we have only doubled down on the palatability of our food because a couple of years ago, adding honey to your oats was fucking like rediscovering bread and light. Now it's like add honey, stevia, chocolate brownies, and all of a sudden we're eating fucking Kinder Surprise for breakfast.
Take breakfast, yeah.
It's like, it doesn't fucking work like that. Sure, you want to add some fucking honey, go for it, but it needs to be simple.
Yeah, like I said to you on the way here, I had Korean barbecue last night. Sure, it was nice when I was there, but like when I got home, I was ravenous because the options were not conducive to my goals.
Yeah.
So if that's you, you know, Jackson said, you know, if you're eating out, all you want to do is do that more of that. As soon as I got home, I was like, fuck, what am I gonna eat?
Not only that, if you have more than fucking 4 ingredients in your meal,
Yeah.
like unless you're like it's in a fucking occasion and that's it, but if you've got goals, like more than 4 to 5 ingredients in your meal, you kind of got too much going on there.
Or if you have endless amounts of time to devote to calorie tracking, be my guest. You can make whatever you like.
Go for it.
We're not the coaches for you.
No, yeah. I mean, look, I even look at my high days, right? I'm currently eating 2,000 calories for my prep, and then on Saturdays, I have 2,800 calories. Now, my head wants to be like, eat this, eat that, do this, do that.
Start putting the pieces together.
But, bro, all I did was eat more potatoes, eat more rice, and eat more oats. And the reason I do that is because I know that if I get a taste of something that is super palatable and super, like heaps of flavor,
yeah,
I'm going to want more
it's
of
like a
that.
switch.
Yeah, it's like a switch because your body's just like, oh, give me more of that. Because it's what we're designed to do.
Man, the meal I made yesterday looked like rubbish. Digestibility,
Amazing.
amazing.
Performance,
Amazing.
physique,
In progress.
but always under construction.
But that puts me a foot forward towards where I need to be.
Definitely.
Whereas if I sat there and I went, I'm gonna make this, and fuck, I don't have time for that.
But this is the thing, we're not sitting here saying eat shit food that you don't enjoy.
Nah.
You know, my chicken is not just salt and
Hey,
pepper.
If we're talking about seasonings, we know how to make chicken.
Yeah, exactly. On the barbecue, because barbecue chicken is way fucking better.
100%.
Fajita, fucking Old El Paso seasoning, counted and tracked for. You know, it tastes fucking good. You know, bit of rice, some spring onion on top, bit of barbecue sauce. What? 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients. And I wouldn't even put seasoning and barbecue sauce in the ingredient. It's just a topping. Sorted. Condiments. Exactly. Complements the outfit, you know? Anyway, if you've listened to this and gotten this far, then you understand exactly how we navigate someone's training journey.
The Odyssey.
The Odyssey. The progression of the journey. And this is exactly how we attack any sort of person who comes to us. And the things that they get out of that is they probably fill out the fucking t-shirt they've been wanting to if you're a guy. You've got the biggest glutes in the gym. You feel strong as fuck. And you look great in whatever swimsuit or whenever you go out. And you're fucking jacked and strong. And if you follow those things, I promise you, that is what will come of it. And if you come on board for coaching, then that's also what's going to come of it. Because that's what we've devoted most of our life to, both ourselves, like in our own journey, and we've cultivated this, what's the word I'm looking for?
Community.
This community and roadmap to make that happen.
Yeah.
So, probably a great time to say, if you're interested, just book a call for coaching from one of us. But yeah, I think that sums it up perfectly.
We've taken the guesswork out of all of it because we've done it. So if you're there
and we're still doing it.
Yeah, you got to walk in the rain, right?
Can't go swimming without getting wet, right?
So if you're there, you know, guy, girl, regardless, you're sitting at the point where you're like, okay, I've got good results, but I want better, I want more. You know what the next step is. We just laid it out for you. Let us walk you through the process. Let us walk you through that journey that you need to take. And that sounds very stoic, but that's what it is. You're going to have ups and downs, but we've done it.
I mean,
we've taken clients through it, and they've come out the other side, and they're unbelievably happy.
You might be doing 3 out of the 4 things we mentioned right, but you might be that one thing might be the thing that you need, and that's maybe where we can help you. So, I think we'll leave it there. As always, guys, this is an amazing opportunity to like, share, put on your story, follow, support the mission and everything we're doing. And if you are interested in coaching, then book a call via the Odyssey Strength Instagram, or you can go to either of our Instagrams, or you can head to the website as well.
Peace.